Welcome back to the channel and welcome to beautiful snowy Belgium. In today's video I want to talk to you about a couple of mistakes that I made during this trip. And all these mistakes are all due to one mistake that I made, and that's what I want to talk to you about, how you can prevent these mistakes from happening to your own photography.
So I found my first shot of the day and I'm absolutely loving this. So let me turn you around to show you what I'm looking at. This wasn't my plan, but look at that giant full moon just above that beautiful snow-covered tree over there. And I'm absolutely loving this shot. So I'm trying to compose this. If you look on the back of the screen, you see I've put the moon on top of that tree and left a bit of space here. I don't know if that's the right thing to do. I also took a shot already with the moon on this side in the frame, and I'm bracketing it because the moon is really bright, so I need to make brackets to cover the whole dynamic range of this scene. And this definitely wasn't my plan. I wanted to do something completely else, but the moment I noticed this sun when I drove in the car, I remembered this tree from the last time that I was here, and I thought this might be perfect for this shot. So I quickly rushed over here, put up the camera, and now I'm trying to take this shot. So I'm probably gonna wait here for a couple of minutes. I'm gonna lose the sunrise over on that side probably, but I think it's worth doing something with this moon shot. You know, it's something different, something not everyone has from this location. So yeah, let's just wait and see what happens. But this is the first attempt, and if there's coming another one, I'm gonna show it on the screen in a couple of minutes. But I'm already quite happy with this shot.
So let's just have a look at one of those images that you've just seen. For example, this square one, because this is where the second problem occurred, or the second mistake. If you look at the moon in this shot, it actually looks pretty nice. But the mistake that I made was the moon was setting really, really fast. And because I made a bracket, and you can see it here when we go to Lightroom, if I zoom into the moon on this shot, and this is the first shot of my bracket. So you see this is the second shot, the third shot, the fourth shot, and in every shot that you're seeing, you can see that the moon is going a little bit lower in the sky. And if I add those shots together to a high-res image, you get this, a halo around the moon. And you can see it also on this stack. So I tried multiple stacks, but none of them seemed to work. I tried to work with one image, but it just didn't give the results that I needed for a clean, nice image. So if we look at the final image here, you can see that there is still some detail left in this moon in the shot. And how did I actually do that? And it's actually very simple. I went to Photoshop and opened the darkest image that I had, where the moon was pretty good. And I opened the shot where the exposure overall was good enough. And I simply just got this oval selector here. And as simple as this, I put it over the moon. And it took a little bit of tweaking to get it exactly right over the moon here. So you don't want it too big or too small. And I just copied this moon, and I'm not doing it quite nice right now, but I just copied the moon here. Let's have a look at this layer. And I just copied it over the moon in this image in the right spot. So that's how I solved this issue with the moon on this first series of shots. Not my finest work, but yeah, mistakes made, lesson learned, on to the next image.
So I just figured out that my microphone was still under my jacket, so you were probably not able to hear me on that first shot there, but just look at the moon and the colors in the back there. And I'm just walking here hoping to find a tree that suits this composition even better than the one that I just photographed. This might be something just between a couple of different trees. So the moon is in a bit of an open area right now. Let's see if this works. It might work, it might not work, always difficult. I've put it on bracketing for that last shot, but the wind has picked up, so it's probably not a good idea to make a bracket right now. I can see all those leaves moving around over there. Just underexpose it a little bit, stand up a bit. I think that makes the composition better. No, it's not what I was looking for. Not what I was looking for. So I'll show you on the screen what I just shot, but I think I can do better if I have enough time, you know. The moon is setting quite fast, so yeah, I'm probably too late for this. Took too much time on that first shot, so hopefully that one worked out, but those beautiful colors weren't there at that moment. You know, we have the sun rise on one side. You see, you have all these more yellowy colors on that side, and on this side we're having all these pink colors. So this is way nicer, but I need a real standout tree for this, and I need time. So I'm in a bit of a rush, so I'm gonna stop recording now and get my mind to the subject of photography. So I quickly attached the big white here to catch a photo of this moon, and it's just very difficult because there's a lot of heat distraction through the just above the atmosphere there. So it's very difficult to photograph this at the moment. As you see, you know, it's minus 10 degrees, and you can still see that there is a lot of distortion due to heat or cold waves. I don't know what it is, but the sun is now underneath. It's actually real fun because look at the other side here. You know, the sun is just starting to rise over on this side, and the moon is setting on that side. So I've never seen this happen simultaneously. Sun, moon, amazing, absolutely amazing, you know. But yeah, I think I'm gonna leave this lens on for a minute, see what I can catch with it. But I just also noticed that my battery is running dead. So preparations, you know. I never seem to learn from my mistakes, so hopefully you will learn from this. I charged all the batteries yesterday except for the one that was in the camera. I just figured that it was good enough, but it definitely isn't. So switching the batteries, and now I'm gonna look at this beautiful sunrise over there and see what I can catch. Put this one on for protection. You know, it's easy to slip at the moment, so it's also easy to damage the lens. And I definitely don't want to damage something that is not mine. So, enough talking, let's find some shots.
So let's just have a quick look at this last image that you're seeing of that moon with that beautiful pink sky in it. If we go to Lightroom, you can see that I have a whole series of this image with the moon getting lower, 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 lower until it's almost disappeared on the horizon line. I thought one of the best composition of this shot was this one with the little bush in front of that moon. But there is a bit of a mistake in this image. And if you look up here, I shot this image with a shutter speed of 1/160th of a second at 500 millimeters. And when I'm shooting handheld, I always have this rule to myself that I try to keep the shutter speed the double amount of the focal distance that I'm photographing on. So in this case, normally I would shoot at 1/500 or 1/1000th of a second for a shot like this. But I didn't, and due to that you can see all the distortion of these heat or cold waves across the landscape. I couldn't solve it completely if I would have gotten the right settings, but everything just went so fast, and I just, in panic, I attached the 150 to 400 and I didn't change the settings. I just pulled it up and kept shooting until the moon was almost gone. I didn't pay attention to that, so I should have raised that shutter speed a lot. And if I zoom into this image, you can see that that foreground is not completely in focus, and the moon around it is also not completely in focus. So I could have prevented this with shutter speed. Maybe I should have focused on the trees instead of the moon in the background. I don't know, but I was just too much rush in this situation. So let me know, do you think, is this image still usable or isn't it? You know, overall I love the image if it would have been in focus on this little bush here in the bottom. But somehow it isn't, but there is still a lot of atmosphere in this shot. So let me know in the comments, what do you think of this mistake? And don't make this yourself. Always try to use the double amount of your focal range as your minimum shutter speed when you're shooting handheld with long lenses like this. So once again, I'm out here with my Fl36 photography gloves. You know, I can't miss these in conditions like this. Absolutely one of the most important things on a winter photography trip. This is the Markov version. Very good for conditions like this, from 0 to -10. I think it's about -7, -8 maybe today. No idea, but they have them for all kinds of conditions, for a summer morning to Arctic winters with -30, -40. So if you're interested in some good photography gloves that you can very easily get your fingers through them to use your camera, little magnets to hold the pieces to the back so they're not disturbing you. You can put heat pads here into the zipper. Absolutely phenomenal things, good quality, really warm. So I really recommend these, and I don't recommend much on the channel, only products that I really believe in myself and that I use myself, like these gloves. So Fl36 photography gloves. So I just feel like a massive failure, you know, really stupid. I'm just too late, you know, half an hour too late. But due to all the traffic and people driving slow due to slippery roads, I just couldn't get here earlier. But you know, shit like this happens. You know, just grab yourself together and try to search for something else. I have no idea what that else is at the moment. So I'm looking at quite a nice scene over here. You can see it also on this side. There are all these grasses standing in this fresh layer of snow. And I'm just trying to isolate one of these grasses that's lit up in a place where the snow is more in a dark area. That you really have this light and dark kind of situation in your image. And it's actually quite difficult to find one. So I'm just scanning all this area right now. I'm seeing one here in my foreground that looks pretty nice, but it's difficult to photograph. But right over here, there is a pretty nice patch. And you can also see when you look up here that there's a lot of these grasses, but it gets a little bit dense over there. So I'm far more interested in those over here that are down in the bottom. So I'm just gonna try and figure this out, see if I can find something that really interests me. I think this first one's pretty nice, but the snow behind it is not completely fresh. There are some marks in it. I think there was a dog walking there. Oh my god. So let's see if this has worked. If I found a shot, then this is the one. So this is where I'm going to end today's video. The trip is going to continue in this Sunday's video, but I think this point will summarize a little bit about what happened this morning. So one tiny mistake caused all these mistakes that I made in that first hour of photography on location here in Belgium. Now this takes 2 hours to drive me normally, 2 hours and 15 minutes from my house. And normally I drive through Germany towards Belgium. But somehow I just missed my exit and I somehow drove all the way through the Netherlands down south. And driving through the Netherlands on a weekday in traffic is just terrible. So I got stuck in traffic. That caused me to arrive late. I was about 45 minutes to an hour later on my location than I anticipated. And that caused me to rush. You know, I pulled on my jacket without attaching the microphone right. I didn't have enough time to find a great composition, so I took too much time on that first tree. For my opinion, you know, it wasn't such a great shot, but I was just trying something that wasn't there anymore. And then when I finally decided that I'm just gonna walk or continue walking, this rush, this stress level kept on going through my body. And that's actually something to remember, you know, go on time, take your time and don't stress out. And I kind of like panicked, like, okay, I have this beautiful situation of a beautiful moonset and a sunrise and I have no shots, I have no compositions, and I started switching lenses. I didn't pay enough attention to my settings, and all this trouble is caused by just taking one wrong exit on the freeway. So preparations is just very, very important. Know what you're doing, know where you're going, and yeah, try to keep your head together. And if you're in a situation like this, just go for one shot and don't try to do it all. Just stick to one point, stick to your original plan, and just see what will come, and don't panic, just like I did in this video. So I hope you learned something from these mistakes that I made, and let me know in the comments, what are your mistakes, what are the mistakes that you make regularly, or that you think that is something that I have to share with other people and that's something they can learn of and that I even can learn of. Let me know in the comments. So thanks for watching. I hope you liked this video. If you did, don't forget, please push that thumbs up button, and there is a subscribe button underneath this video. If you push that and select all on the notification bell, you will get a message when I release my next video. And don't forget, this trip is going to continue this Sunday, because in the afternoon I drove to a different location and I found my own calm self back there, and I think I found some pretty strong compositions there, and to be honest, I haven't looked at those results yet, so who knows, maybe I'm gonna make another video like this on Sunday, but I think those are much better than the ones that I shot in the early morning. So thanks for watching, hope to see you next time, bye bye.